10 transgender celebrities you didn't know about then and now 2025. Their journeys are nothing short of extraordinary. Stories of resilience, self-discovery, and redefining success on their own terms. Some of these celebrities transformed right before our eyes, while others kept their struggles hidden until they were ready to share their truth. From the glittering lights of Hollywood to the toughest sports arenas and high-fashion runways, these stars have shattered barriers and inspired millions. You might think you know them, but their stories will surprise you. Stick around. One name at the end will leave you speechless. Chaz Bono. Chaz Bono's life is a remarkable story of self-discovery, perseverance, and activism. Born Chastity Son Bono on March 4, 1969, to world-famous entertainers Sonny and Cher, he grew up in the public eye, but behind the glamour of Hollywood, he struggled with an internal conflict that would take decades to resolve. From an early age, Chaz felt disconnected from the identity assigned to him at birth. While the world saw him as Cher's daughter, he never felt comfortable in a female role. He gravitated toward traditionally masculine interests, preferring to play with boys and rejecting dresses and feminine clothing. Despite these feelings, societal expectations and family pressures led him to suppress his discomfort, attempting to fit into the mold the world expected. In 1995, at the age of 26, Chaz publicly came out as a lesbian, believing that this explained his feelings of being different. However, as time passed, he realized that sexual orientation was not the root of his struggle. It was gender identity. The revelation that he was a transgender man led to years of deep reflection before he finally made the life-altering decision to transition. In 2008, Chaz began his transition, undergoing hormone therapy in 2009, and legally changing his name and gender in 2010. He also underwent top surgery, double mastectomy, a procedure that he described as life-changing, finally allowing him to feel at home in his own body. Transitioning in the public eye came with challenges, as media scrutiny was intense, and his transformation was widely discussed in tabloids and talk shows. His mother, Cher, initially struggled with the change, but later became one of his strongest supporters, publicly expressing pride in her son's courage. Chaz's journey extended beyond his personal transformation, making him a trailblazer for transgender representation and entertainment. In 2011, he starred in the documentary Becoming Chaz, which premiered at the Sundance Film Festival and aired on OWN, Oprah Winfrey Network, offering an intimate look into his transition. That same year, he became the first transgender man to compete on Dancing with the Stars, further breaking barriers. His acting career flourished as he took on roles in The Secret Life of the American Teenager, The Bold and the Beautiful, and American Horror Story, Roanoke, becoming the first openly transgender man to play a male role in a major feature film. His presence in Hollywood helped push transgender visibility into mainstream media, challenging stereotypes and advocating for more inclusive representation. Beyond acting, Chaz has dedicated himself to transgender advocacy. His 2011 book, Transition: The Story of How I Became a Man, provided a candid account of his struggles, offering guidance and hope to those facing similar journeys. He has worked closely with organizations such as GLAAD to promote accurate and respectful portrayals of transgender individuals in the media. Through public speaking, interviews, and activism, he continues to raise awareness about gender identity and transgender rights, helping to educate and inspire countless individuals. Andrea Pejic. Andrea Pejic has defied conventions and broken barriers in the modeling world, becoming one of the most recognized transgender models in history. Born Andrea Pejic on August 28, 1991, in Tuzla, Bosnia and Herzegovina, she and her family fled the Bosnian War when she was just a child. Seeking refuge from the conflict, her family settled in Melbourne, Australia, where Andrea grew up navigating the complexities of identity in a society that expected rigid gender roles. From an early age, Andrea felt a deep sense of disconnect between her assigned gender and her true self. As a child, she was drawn to feminine clothing, makeup, and expressions of beauty that defied societal expectations. However, the fear of standing out and being judged forced her to suppress these instincts. During her teenage years, she found solace in fashion, an industry where androgyny was occasionally celebrated, giving her a space to explore her identity more freely. At 17 years old, she was discovered while working at McDonald's and quickly signed to a modeling agency. Her striking features and unique ability to embody both masculine and feminine aesthetics made her an overnight sensation in the fashion industry. She became known for walking in both men's and women's runway shows, a rarity in the modeling world. Designers such as Jean-Paul Gaultier and Marc Jacobs embraced her androgynous beauty, propelling her career to international fame. She was hailed as the gender-fluid model who blurred the lines between male and female fashion. Despite her success, Andrea felt incomplete. While the industry celebrated her androgyny, she personally knew that her journey was not just about pushing boundaries in fashion. It was about embracing her identity. In 2014, she made the bold decision to transition, a process that involved extensive medical, psychological, and emotional preparation. Coming out as a transgender woman was a risk, as many in the fashion industry warned her that transitioning could harm her career. However, her determination to live authentically outweighed the fear of losing professional opportunities. Following her transition, Andrea made history as the first openly transgender model to appear on the cover of GQ Portugal and Vogue. She became an advocate for transgender representation in the fashion world, proving that beauty and talent transcend gender. Through her openness, she has not only paved the way for future transgender models, but also helped reshape industry standards. Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner's life is a story of transformation, resilience, and breaking societal norms. Born William Bruce Jenner on October 28, 1949, in Mount Kisco, New York, she first gained worldwide fame as an Olympic gold medalist. However, beneath the surface of athletic success, personal achievements, and public admiration, she was battling an identity crisis that would take decades to resolve. As a child, Caitlyn felt an internal conflict regarding her gender identity, but had no words to describe it. In the 1960s and 1970s, discussions about gender dysphoria were nearly non-existent, leaving her feeling isolated. She found refuge in sports, excelling in track and field, which provided an escape from the discomfort she felt about her body. Her dedication to athletics led her to the 1976 Montreal Olympics, where she won gold in the decathlon, setting a world record. This victory cemented her status as an American hero, yet the internal struggle continued. After retiring from athletics, Caitlyn transitioned into a media personality, making numerous television appearances and building a lucrative career. She married Kris Jenner in 1991, becoming a central figure in the Kardashian-Jenner family. The reality TV series Keeping Up with the Kardashians introduced her to a new generation, but her gender identity struggles persisted. In private, she experimented with gender expression, even undergoing hormone therapy in the 1980s, but fear of public scrutiny prevented her from fully transitioning. At the age of 65, Caitlyn made the life-changing decision to come out as a transgender woman. In April 2015, she publicly revealed her identity in an interview with Diane Sawyer, followed by a striking cover on Vanity Fair with the headline, "Call Me Caitlyn." Her transition was one of the most widely publicized in history, sparking discussions on transgender visibility and acceptance worldwide. Despite facing criticism from various groups, Caitlyn has used her platform to advocate for transgender rights. She starred in the reality series I Am Kate, chronicling her transition and raising awareness about gender identity issues. However, her political views and privileged background have led to mixed reactions from the LGBTQ+ community. Caitlyn Jenner's journey is a testament to the importance of self-acceptance. From an Olympic champion to one of the most famous transgender women in the world, she has redefined what it means to live authentically, proving that it is never too late to embrace one's true self. Laverne Cox. Laverne Cox is one of the most influential transgender figures in entertainment, using her visibility to amplify discussions on gender identity and LGBTQ+ rights. Born on May 29, 1972, in Mobile, Alabama, She grew up in a conservative environment where gender norms were rigidly enforced. From an early age, she felt different, drawn to feminine clothing, makeup, and interests traditionally associated with girls. However, in a time and place where being different was not widely accepted, this led to bullying and deep emotional struggles. During her childhood, Laverne faced intense scrutiny for her femininity. She was often teased, called names, and ostracized by classmates. The pressure to conform was overwhelming, and at age 11, she attempted suicide, unable to cope with the shame imposed on her. Despite these hardships, she found solace in the arts. Dance became her escape, and she convinced her mother to let her study ballet and jazz, which opened doors to self-expression. After high school, she moved to New York City to study acting at Marymount Manhattan College, where she began exploring her gender identity more openly. The city's diverse and inclusive culture allowed her to embrace her truth, and she started her transition. Facing financial struggles, she worked various jobs, including in the drag and entertainment industry, before landing acting roles. Laverne's big break came in 2013, when she was cast as Sophia Bursett in the Netflix series Orange is the New Black. She played a transgender woman navigating life in a women's prison, and her performance resonated deeply with audiences. Her role marked a significant milestone in Hollywood, as she became the first openly transgender person to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award. Beyond acting, Laverne is a fierce advocate for transgender rights. She has spoken at universities, conferences, and on national television about the realities of being transgender, the importance of media representation, and the struggles faced by trans individuals, particularly those of color. Her documentary Disclosure, 2020, analyzed Hollywood's portrayal of transgender characters, highlighting both progress and ongoing challenges. Laverne Cox's impact extends beyond entertainment. She has shattered barriers, redefined representation, and proven that transgender individuals deserve to be seen, heard, and celebrated. Her journey from a bullied child in Alabama to a global icon is an inspiration, reminding the world that trans is beautiful and that everyone deserves the freedom to live as their authentic selves. Fallon Fox. Fallon Fox is a pioneer in the world of sports, known as the first openly transgender athlete in mixed martial arts (MMA). Her journey is not just about breaking records in the ring, but about challenging deep-seated prejudices against transgender athletes. Born on November 29, 1975, in Toledo, Ohio, Fallon faced struggles with gender identity from a young age, but had little guidance or representation to help her understand her feelings. Growing up in a conservative environment, she always felt different. As a child, she was drawn to feminine clothing and behaviors, but quickly learned to hide these instincts due to fear of rejection. The lack of acceptance led her to internalize her struggle, believing for much of her early life that something was wrong with her. In an effort to fit into societal expectations, she married at a young age and had a child, hoping that following a traditional path would ease her gender dysphoria. However, the internal conflict only grew stronger. In her late 20s, Fallon finally acknowledged that she could no longer live as someone she was not. Determined to transition, she saved money and traveled to Bangkok, Thailand, where she underwent gender-affirming surgery in 2006. By then, she had already begun hormone replacement therapy, which had significantly changed her body composition, reducing muscle mass and testosterone levels to typical female ranges. After her transition, Fallon pursued a passion she had always admired: professional fighting. She trained rigorously in MMA, excelling in various disciplines, including Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. In 2012, she made her professional MMA debut, quickly amassing an undefeated record. However, her success took an unexpected turn in 2013, when her transgender identity was made public without her consent. The revelation sparked an intense debate in the sports world. Critics argued that Fallon had an unfair advantage due to being assigned male at birth, despite the fact that medical research and her years on hormone therapy had already brought her physiology in line with other female fighters. Some in the MMA community, including well-known fighters, publicly opposed her participation. Others, including medical experts, defended her right to compete, citing that hormone therapy significantly reduces physical advantages over time. Despite the backlash, Fallon continued to fight for transgender athletes' rights. She became an outspoken advocate for inclusion in sports, challenging the stereotypes and misinformation surrounding transgender competitors. Though she faced discrimination, she remained resilient, using her platform to push for fair treatment in athletics. Fallon Fox's story is one of perseverance, courage, and fighting for equal rights. As the first openly transgender woman in MMA, she has paved the way for future athletes while demonstrating that gender identity should never limit one's ability to pursue their dreams. Jazz Jennings. Jazz Jennings is one of the most well-known transgender figures of her generation, using her visibility to educate the world about transgender children and advocate for LGBTQ+ rights. Born on October 6, 2000, in South Florida, she was assigned male at birth, but showed signs of her true gender identity from the moment she could express herself. Unlike many transgender individuals who struggle with self-acceptance for years, Jazz had a remarkably strong sense of identity from an early age. By the age of 2, Jazz already gravitated toward traditionally feminine interests. She preferred dolls over toy trucks, loved wearing dresses, and insisted on being referred to as a girl. At just 5 years old, she was diagnosed with gender dysphoria, making her one of the youngest publicly known cases of a child recognized as transgender. Unlike many families who resist or struggle to accept such revelations, Jazz's parents, Jeanette and Greg Jennings, became her strongest allies, advocating for her rights and ensuring she could live authentically. In 2007, at only 6 years old, Jazz stepped into the national spotlight when she was interviewed by Barbara Walters on 2020, making her one of the youngest transgender individuals to be featured on mainstream television. The interview sparked national conversations about transgender youth, paving the way for greater awareness and understanding. As a child, Jazz faced discrimination in school sports, with her being initially banned from playing on girls' soccer teams. However, after her family fought back, the United States Soccer Federation changed its policies to allow transgender children to compete according to their gender identity. Her journey was further chronicled in her hit reality series, I Am Jazz, which premiered on TLC in 2015. The show provided an intimate look into the realities of growing up transgender, including challenges such as medical transitions, bullying, dating, and mental health struggles. Jazz became a role model for young transgender individuals, offering visibility and reassurance that they were not alone. In addition to her activism, Jazz has also authored a children's book, I Am Jazz, and a memoir, Being Jazz, My Life as a Transgender Teen, to help others understand gender identity from an early age. She underwent gender-affirming surgery at 18, an important milestone that she documented publicly to help educate people about transgender medical care. Despite facing online hate, depression, and anxiety, Jazz remains a tireless advocate for transgender rights. She has received numerous honors, including being named one of Time magazine's 25 most influential teens. Jazz Jennings' story is one of resilience, education, and empowerment, proving that young voices can create meaningful change and inspire acceptance worldwide. Carmen Carrera. Carmen Carrera is a groundbreaking figure in the LGBTQ+ community, known for her work as a model, actress, and transgender rights advocate. Born Christopher Roman on April 13, 1985, in Elmwood Park, New Jersey, she first gained public recognition as a contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race, but her journey soon took a different path. Unlike many of her fellow contestants, Carmen would go on to transition publicly, becoming a powerful advocate for transgender visibility and inclusion. Carmen's initial rise to fame came in 2011 during the third season of RuPaul's Drag Race. Competing as a drag performer, she captivated audiences with her stunning looks, confidence, and polished runway presence. Though she was eliminated mid-season, she was later voted back by fans for the finale episode, proving her popularity. However, Carmen's story would take a turn beyond the world of drag. After the show, she announced that she was transitioning from male to female, a decision that surprised many in the LGBTQ+ community. Transitioning in the public eye was not easy. Many fans and even fellow drag performers initially struggled to understand her journey. Some still associated her with drag, rather than recognizing her as a transgender woman. Additionally, Carmen's outspoken advocacy for transgender representation in entertainment led to tensions with parts of the drag community. She publicly criticized RuPaul's Drag Race for its use of transphobic language, particularly the controversial segment "She-Male or Female," which she found offensive. This sparked an important conversation about how transgender individuals are represented within LGBTQ+ spaces, even causing the show to rethink its language and approach. Despite these challenges, Carmen's modeling career flourished after transitioning. She broke barriers by becoming one of the first transgender models to work with major fashion brands, walking runways worldwide, and being featured in prestigious magazines such as W, O, and Harper's Bazaar. Her stunning appearance and fierce determination helped her make history as a transgender woman in high fashion, an industry that had long been resistant to trans representation. Beyond her modeling success, Carmen has become a dedicated advocate for transgender rights, using her platform to educate the public on issues affecting the transgender community. She actively promotes greater visibility for trans women in media, fighting against stereotypes, and pushing for inclusivity in Hollywood and the fashion world. She has worked with organizations such as GLAAD and the Human Rights Campaign, speaking at events and raising awareness about the struggles trans people face. Gina Rosero. Gina Rosero is a pioneering transgender model and activist who has used her platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and visibility. Born on October 24, 1983, in Manila, Philippines, she grew up in a culture where gender expression was often constrained by societal norms. From an early age, she knew she was different, feeling a deep connection to femininity. Unlike many transgender individuals who struggle in silence, Gina found a sense of community within the Philippines' transgender beauty pageant scene, where she was able to express herself freely. As a child, Gina faced challenges navigating her gender identity in a conservative society. Despite her strong sense of self, she witnessed discrimination against transgender individuals, particularly in employment and social acceptance. At 15 years old, she began competing in transgender beauty pageants, which gave her confidence and a sense of belonging. However, she also knew that opportunities for transgender women in the Philippines were limited, leading her to dream of a different life abroad. At 17, she and her family moved to San Francisco, California, where she could live more freely. She legally transitioned and was able to update her official documents to reflect her gender identity. This legal recognition was a turning point in her life, reinforcing the importance of advocacy for transgender rights. She later moved to New York City, where she was discovered by a modeling agency. With her striking features and natural talent, she soon became a successful fashion model, signing with Next Model Management and appearing in high-profile campaigns and editorials. For many years, Gina kept her transgender identity private, fearing that it could jeopardize her career in the competitive world of fashion. However, in 2014, she decided to publicly come out as transgender in a powerful TED Talk, making history as one of the first professional models to do so. Her speech, titled "Why I Must Come Out," quickly went viral, bringing transgender visibility to an international audience. This moment marked the beginning of her advocacy work. Following her TED Talk, Gina founded Gender Proud, an organization dedicated to fighting for legal recognition and rights for transgender individuals worldwide. She has since worked with organizations such as the United Nations, Human Rights Watch, and the World Economic Forum, using her voice to advocate for transgender equality, particularly in countries where trans people lack legal protections. Erica Irvin. Erica Irvin, widely known as Amazon Eve, is a trailblazing transgender model, actress, and advocate who has redefined beauty standards and fought for LGBTQ+ representation in media. Born on February 23, 1979, in Turlock, California, She faced challenges from an early age due to her towering height and struggles with gender identity. Standing at 6 feet 8 inches, 205 centimeters, tall, Erica's remarkable presence made her stand out, but it also led to feelings of isolation during her childhood and adolescence. Growing up, Erica struggled with gender dysphoria, sensing from a young age that she was not meant to live as the gender assigned to her at birth. However, growing up in a conservative environment, she lacked the resources and support to fully understand her identity. During her early years, she attempted to conform to societal expectations, pursuing education and fitness while suppressing her true self. At the age of 30, after years of emotional and psychological struggle, Erica made the life-altering decision to transition. She sought medical guidance, underwent hormone therapy and gender-affirming surgeries, and finally began living as her authentic self. Unlike many transgender individuals, Erica had to navigate not only gender transition, but also public perception regarding her extraordinary height, which made her a unique figure in both the fashion and entertainment industries. Her breakthrough came when she embraced her striking appearance and pursued a career in modeling. With her commanding presence and powerful look, Erica became known as the world's tallest professional model, gaining international recognition in the fashion industry. She worked with Vogue Italia and Harper's Bazaar, breaking barriers as a transgender woman in an industry that had historically been exclusive and rigid in its beauty standards. In addition to modeling, Erica ventured into acting, where she landed her most famous role as Amazon Eve in American Horror Story Freak Show, 2014. Interestingly, the role was originally intended for a male actor playing a female character, but Erica impressed the producers so much that they reworked the part for her. Her performance on the show introduced her to a wider audience, making her one of the most recognizable transgender actresses on television. Beyond entertainment, Erica has used her platform to advocate for transgender rights, body positivity, and gender inclusivity. She regularly speaks at LGBTQ+ events and shares her experiences to inspire others to embrace their true selves, regardless of societal expectations. Chanel West Coast. Chanel West Coast, born Chelsea Chanel Dudley on September 1, 1988, in Los Angeles, California, is an American television personality, rapper, singer, and entrepreneur. Best known for her work on MTV's Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory and Ridiculousness, she has built a successful career in the entertainment industry. However, despite her achievements, Chanel has been the subject of a bizarre and persistent internet rumor suggesting that she is a transgender woman who transitioned from actor Lee Norris, a claim that is completely false. The rumor, which has circulated for years, claims that Chanel was once Lee Norris, the child actor known for playing Stuart Minkus on Boy Meets World in the 1990s. The speculation likely began due to similar facial features between Chanel and Norris, leading some internet users to spread the false narrative that the two were the same person. However, this claim has no basis in reality. Lee Norris is still an active actor and has never transitioned. Chanel West Coast has always identified as a cisgender woman, meaning she was assigned female at birth, and has never undergone any gender transition. While Chanel has laughed off the rumors in interviews, she has also expressed sympathy for transgender individuals, emphasizing that transitioning is a deeply personal journey and should not be trivialized or used as the basis for misinformation. She has stated that while she finds the rumor ridiculous, she acknowledges the real struggles that transgender people face and hopes that such discussions can be approached with more respect. Beyond addressing false rumors, Chanel has made a name for herself as a versatile entertainer. She began her career as a rapper and singer, collaborating with artists such as Lil Wayne and Snoop Dogg. Her music blends hip-hop and pop influences, and she has released multiple singles and mixtapes, proving that she is more than just a TV personality. In addition to her music career, she has launched her own fashion line, LOL Cartel, and ventured into business, further expanding her brand. Despite the online misinformation surrounding her identity, Chanel West Coast continues to focus on her career, proving that her success is based on talent and hard work rather than speculation. She remains a dynamic presence in the entertainment industry, showing resilience in the face of internet rumors and staying committed to her creative passions. The stories of these incredible individuals highlight the power of authenticity, resilience, and self-acceptance. Each of them has faced unique challenges, but has emerged as a trailblazer in their field, proving that being true to oneself is the greatest victory. Their journeys have not only changed their own lives, but have also paved the way for greater acceptance and understanding of transgender individuals in society. What do you think about the impact these celebrities have had on the entertainment industry and beyond? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and join the conversation in the comments. Your support means the world to us. And if you want more stories about the biggest names in Hollywood, make sure to subscribe to the All About Hollywood channel so you never miss our latest videos. See you in the next one.